Why, hello Eric, welcome to another The Author. And today we're gonna talk about my fully self-painted Castellan set. Now Castellan is a two-player game by Steve Jackson Games, and it's basically providing these mold pieces of castle walls and towers and such, and you play a game of strategy control. Very good two-player. You can buy another set to play four-player, but it's a bit more chaotic. I like it as a two-player game, very strategic. And today basically I'm going to talk about the theme and then how I painted these pieces basically. So let us begin. Firstly, the theme I went for was a old medieval castle. Now you can paint these castle walls of course in any color you want. You can go for the Renaissance era kind of thing where they are more plastered white because of the plastering they open the walls just before the canon, just at the beginning of the canon era. And then you can also go for a castle like in India where the stone is almost red, so you can paint that too. So it's up to you how you want to paint it. I wanted to go for a more darker tone, so I started with a more dark grey for the old medieval castle look. And the theme is also, at first you could also add along like with PVA glue and sand and all. You can add vines and everything to the walls and all that, but to be honest I didn't do that for one reason, because one, it would take a lot more time, and number two, the theme of the game was very much you are finishing a new castle. Therefore I felt it was not with the theme if there will be vines and all that all around, so I didn't do that too. But of course the main reason I won't lie is of course it takes a ton of time to do all that, and I always feel when you start doing trust me, this is a big project like this, you have to keep the momentum going and make sure that don't do so many things that you will actually stop the project halfway through. So because if you look at this, and I listen to Yale lectures online when I paint, and stories and all that, audiobooks, and I basically you're looking at about 52 to 54 hours of work right here. So that's a long time, and just to keep the momentum going and finishing it is you have to make sure that you don't put so much into the idea that it's feasibly and physically just you would take it out of you and you would stop. So my theme, just keep it normal, keep it to a Newcastle look, which is from early medieval era, and also I stuck to the blue and red because I wanted to keep with the theme of the box, and that was it. Okay, so now I'm going to how I'm going to paint it. Now, if the hard part of course was if I can show you, if you can, let me see if I can focus. As you can see, each of the rivets on the wall and the windows meaning the holes in the wall for viewing, are individually highlighted and shaded. The brown doors, for example, each of those are hand in hand highlighted and shaded with a brown, then a brown wash, and then a brown and a white on top for the highlights. And even before the brown and the white was added, I'll add another layer of normal brown to bring the color back from the shading and leaving just the recesses dark. And then the metal, it starts with a bolt gun metal, goes to a mitris silver metal, and then a mixed shade I learned that gives the metal a sheen that is a mix of blue wash, black wash, and 50% of the whole thing is going to be water. So it's a very light wash, but it gives the metal like a shine almost. So each of those are individually highlighted. The portholes over there, each of those are given a small highlight and then given a color of black to make it look like this. There is some depth in there, and each of those are individually done. So that's what took so much time. In fact, 10 of these walls with all the windows and all takes 2 hours to do just these black parts here with the highlighting and the coloring. So there you go. And basically also I stuck to the red and the blue, giving a more brighter color. The whole thing was given first a spray of black, of course, and as the base coat, and then I started with a Eshin grey because it's a darker grey. I felt that I wanted, like say, early medieval era, so I started with dark grey like Eshin grey, and then I mixed in a dry brush, and I was about to do everything because they have very nice lines for the mold, of individually highlighting each of the wall pieces, each of the stones, but like I said, you have to do things and think long term, and if I did that, I would just never finish the project. So I decided to go with dry brushing, and as you saw, I mixed in a etching gray. Then after that, everything was given a highlight again of etching gray and white, and then after that, each of the wall sections in between, like you can see, like right here, each of these lines in between, any that had gray inside, I will use a very thin brush with black and go through, so you can see every single piece. You can see the wall sections, each of them, there's a line of black around that, which is where the grooves are. I tried to do every single one of those, so that took a lot of work, trust me. And so each of those are individually done, and so basically, and then you finish with this. You can even go one step further, like with the in between. I decided not to do this because I don't feel that the color will come out that differently. Was that in between you could even maybe do a etching gray with a bone color to give it a mid-tone. But then again, like I said, is the result worth it? Because for such a huge piece and project, like I said, I want to keep the momentum going, so I didn't do that. But if you're painting, if I was suggesting you're painting a very, like a diorama with a very small piece, maybe you add that in between. But like I said, for big projects like this, I felt that the highlight itself was already there, the colors came out well, and just to make sure that the project didn't get too overwhelming, I'm very happy with the result. But of course, like I said, for more super detailed, if you want to go for competitions and stuff like that, maybe I will add the mid-tone. Not saying this is competition worthy, but you know, it's definitely, I'm happy with the result. So there you go. This is my fully painted Castellan set. Hope you enjoy. Till next word.